What up everybody, JakeyDelicious here, and welcome to my first top 5 albums video. My first subject for this series is none other than indie rock prince Mac DeMarco, the wild gap-toothed Canadian rocker who's been pumping out albums for the last 13, 15 years now. I've been a fan of Mac's for a good portion of those years. He actually just came out with a new album, so I figured now would be a more perfect time than ever to round out and share my top 5 albums by Mac DeMarco. Now, if you're a fan of Mac's, then there's a couple that I'll tell you right now are not going to be on this list. Like this one. Not to say that any of them are bad, but these are just my personal top 5 favorite Mac albums that just kind of truly represent Mac to me. Hopefully you still enjoyed this video either way, and when I'm done, I'd love to hear your top 5 in the comments below. Alright, let's do this. Number 5 is actually the new album, Guitar. This one's kind of on here because it just came out, but I do like it right off the bat because it does feel like Mac kind of stepping back into the mainstream, playing the game, and giving us an album that we actually want to hear, instead of those last couple interesting albums, or compilations, or demo tapes, whatever you want to call them. The first song really jumps out at you, and it literally jumped out at me because I had my speakers up too loud on accident when I played the record, but I guess I should be thankful that we're hearing his voice again instead of an instrumental, right? Sweeter, Terror, and Rock and Roll are a couple of my immediate favorites on here. I like that little guitar solo he does in Rock and Roll. Again, it just feels like Mac kind of coming back to himself after a stretch of those weird albums. I think Holy's my favorite single on this thing. I'm actually recording this video as this record just came out today, so I have yet to actually get comfortable with it. I kind of just wanted to throw it on here because it just came out, kind of give it a little extra promotion, you know? Not that Mac DeMarco needs my promotion. Anyway, I think it's a good album so far, dude. I'm just happy he's back with a traditional album. Alright, number 4, This Old Dog. This was the next release after another one. It's kind of an extension of that stuff. Still has that signature Mac sound, but just a little bit of a drier production. And he also focuses more on synths and drum machines for this record too, which is kind of cool. Lyrically, this was probably his most introspective record at the time. It definitely tackles some more personal stuff than the records before. Stuff about aging and feeling like he's growing into his dad despite not really having a relationship with his dad. This album's actually kind of tied with Here Comes the Cowboy for me, and it actually almost didn't make it on this list over that record, but the more I think about it, between the two, this one's more just signature Mac to me, and for me, that's what I want this list to be about, like I said. There's so many classics on this one too. On the Level, Baby You're Out, This Old Dog, My Old Man, Wolf Who Wears Sheep Clothes. They're all great. Alright, coming in at number 3 is number 2, or just the album 2. At the time of me getting into Mac, this was the obvious second jump. Whether you started with Rock and Roll Nightclub or Salad Days, you can tell this one's a step up from Rock and Roll Nightclub. Obviously, he's got some nicer gear now. Things sound a little cleaner, but still very much detuned, very lo-fi. That sweet music to my ears, baby. So many classics on this one, dude. Annie, Robson Girl, Cooking Up Something Good, The Stars Keep on Calling My Name. That's almost half the album right there, and that's not even all the songs I can think of right now. I feel like this was his first album that really kind of solidified his sound that he ultimately ended up kind of going in the direction of, at least for Salad Days. Just a super catchy and most importantly, fun album. Number 2, another one. This one's a little extra special to me because it came out around the time that I started getting into his music, so I was just stoked that there was even more to dive into from an artist I just discovered. Technically, it's not even a full-length album. I guess it's an EP, but there's 8 songs on it, so I don't know. In my opinion, that's an album. They're 8 legit bangers. Well, 7 bangers and then an instrumental keyboard jam where he lists his address at the time at the end of the song. There's also this 3 or 4 minute long video on YouTube of Mac actually recording this song at his house, and I mean, it's just Mac going absolutely crazy in his bedroom studio while somehow still keeping his cool enough to be able to make a banger of a record. It's one of those videos you watch and it makes you just want to do the exact same thing. One day I'll show off this bedroom studio to you, but it's kind of what I'm going for. But yeah, it's a super fun video. You can see how much fun he's having when making the songs, and ultimately that fun really comes through on the record. Alright, this is my grand number 1. Now, if you're watching this and you're a fan, you probably know what it's gonna be. But look, there's still a few out there I haven't mentioned. It could be anything, alright? But for the sake of ending this video and getting on with my day, I'm gonna have to tell you my number 1. My number 1 is Salad Days. Obviously, right? To me, this is just the Mac DeMarco album. It's got his face right on the cover. It's got that signature detuned vibrato guitar sound all over it with that stoner SpongeBob sounding voice. This is just kind of peak Mac DeMarco with, again, a ton of classic songs on it. Songs that you've definitely heard whether you're a fan or not. I'm also a little biased once again because this is the first thing I listened to when I was getting into him, but I think at the time this is what everybody was listening to. And I think it still stands up today, dude. It's the perfect album to just throw on a day off when you're doing nothing, which is exactly what I did when I was making this list. Some of my favorites from this one are Passing Out Pieces, Let Her Go,
Tell her that you love her, if you really love her.
Goodbye Weekend. Everybody knows Chamber of Reflection. Still, we got Salad Days, Blue Boy. We even have Johnny's Odyssey, which I think is one of my favorite instrumental tracks by him. Back then, he always used to just put at least one instrumental song on his albums, and that one was probably my favorite. So yeah, dude, I think that's it. That's my top 5 albums by Mac DeMarco. That's just my list, though. Let me know yours in the comments below. I want to hear what's your favorite, what's your least favorite, why my list sucks, why it's awesome. Anything you got, let me know down there. I've also got my own music out right now. I have an album coming out October 10th. I have 3 singles out from it, and I plan on releasing more with videos here on my YouTube in the coming weeks. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for my next top 5 list, and I'll see you next time.